Daniel Dusang playing Agrolome. On your left, John Donovan with White Green Maverick, Hate Bears, whatever you want to call it. I'm Gavin Verhey with Zach Hall here at the Star City Games Open Series in Kansas City, Missouri. This is round 5. Already saw Jerry Thompson defeat his opponent pretty handily in a rug-ish mirror match. One of them was playing more of a Canadian Thresh. One of them was playing, Jerry was playing a counterbalance deck. But now here we are, going into game 2. Looks like, I thought Agrolome would be advantaged here, but looks like the white-green deck took the first game.
It did, and not much time left on the clock. We only have about, I believe, 2 minutes left for 2 more games. Oh, not 2 minutes. Okay,
19 minutes.
Oh, a 2-minute extension. There
There's
we
19
go.
minutes
so
left.
19 minutes left in the round for Daniel Dusang to win 2 games. So we'll see if he can pull that off. Not much time, but with the right start, he could definitely do it. Stoneforge Mystic, Knight of the Reliquary are huge threats. Now, the vector that John can fight on that Daniel Dusang can't really is, of course, Stoneforge Mystic. Though he only has 3, Batterskull, Sword of Feast and Famine, Umezawa's Jite, all of these are really good in creature mirrors. Sword of Feast and Famine, for example, gives protection from every single creature in Daniel Dusang's deck.
That is quite impressive.
Yeah. Seismic Assault can still shoot it down, and Swords to Plowshares can still kill the creature it's on, but that is it.
All right, well, Alonze, here we go. Turn 1, Dryad Arbor.
And John Donovan is going to search up a land.
And he's going to crack Windswept Heath. Drawing the Dryad Arbor is always kind of awkward.
It is.
Like,
But Daniel Dusang thought the hand was good enough to keep anyway.
Yeah, and John Donovan doesn't have a ton of removal in his deck, so he doesn't have to worry about getting lightning bolted or something terrible on the first turn.
Right.
And looks like turn 1, Noble Hierarch.
Daniel Dusang draws his card for the turn, and is fingering his Forgotten Cave. That would sure be an awkward start. Dryad Arbor, Forgotten Cave, but decides to go with the Wooded Foothills.
All right, Wooded Foothills. See a red card? I'm not sure what that red card is exactly. Looks like it could be Seismic Assault.
Oh, maybe. I think they had an alternate art that I might not know.
Seismic Assault. Maybe it was... that's a red card I don't quite recognize. Oh, it's Ancient Grudge. It's the new Ancient Grudge.
Oh, okay.
Bring those in to deal with John Donovan's equipments, the Jite, Feast and Famine, Batterskull, maybe even his Crucible Worlds. I don't quite know what happened in the first game. Don't know what won it. Although maybe it went long and it was based on Crucible Worlds. Hard to say.
Right. John Donovan with a lot of 1-ofs in his sideboard, so can't really predict what came in. But I'm sure we'll see something like maybe a Tormod's Crypt out of John Donovan to fight against the Life from the Loam shenanigans. And Daniel Dusang lands a Sylvan Library.
That is certainly very powerful here. The library in a creature matchup just will give Daniel Dusang more gas than John Donovan will. Plus, it gives him the Sensei's Divine Top-ish ability of just picking the best card he wants every single turn.
Right, and then either dredging the next turn or shuffling or what have you.
Exactly. Looks like John Donovan is going to Wasteland away Daniel Dusang's Savannah, though.
Not sure how much I like that unless he has a creature to follow up with it, but it looks like he does. Quasali Pride Mage.
Yeah, Pride Mage comes down for John Donovan, and that'll also deal with the Sylvan Library next turn.
Right. John Donovan is going to try and constrict Daniel Dusang's resources before he can assemble his combo of Life from the Loam Seismic Assault, or Punishing Fire Grove of the Burnwillows.
Looking at his top 3 cards, there's a land, a Zenith, and something else too. I can't quite make out what it is. Card in the middle, I'm not sure. But definitely land in a Zenith.
It looks like he draws the land. Wooded Foothills, I believe. Or no, Arid Mesa. And that Ancient Grudge, not too good at fighting the creatures. John has not deployed a Stoneforge Mystic yet.
Yeah, that Ancient Grudge is kind of sitting there. I understand why he brought it in. It seems reasonable to fight all that equipment.
Right, especially with dredge cards in your deck like Life from the Loam.
Right, exactly. It's easy to get it into your graveyard where you're just drawing free cards, essentially, that way. So Daniel passes back to John Donovan. John plays a Savannah of his own. The board, Noble Hierarch, Quasali Pride Mage, Savannah Forest versus Sylvan Library, Arid Mesa, Dryad Arbor. See what John Donovan has. Attacks for 4 with that Quasali Pride Mage, thanks to the double Exalted.
Yeah, and the little Noble Hierarch, again, proving his worth.
Yeah, that card is some powerful.
Legacy staple.
Indeed, indeed.
It's like the best parts of both Birds of Paradise and Llanowar Elf. It sort of gets both attack and produce multiple colors. And John Donovan finishes his turn with a Knight of the Reliquary.
So Reliquary down for John Donovan.
Very, very good start for John Donovan.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to waste away one of Daniel's lands, and not much went on for Daniel. I really feel like Daniel has an advantage here, but he just hasn't had a very quick draw to take advantage of that.
Right. Part of me wonders what type of hand he kept, because his lands were Dryad Arbor and Forgotten Cave.
And Arid Mesa, too.
And Arid Mesa. Sort of a slow start.
And he had one other land, but it got wastelanded, to be fair.
Right. Now he's pondering his Sylvan Library.
Pondering Sylvan Library.
Yeah.
See what you did there.
Maybe AJ will write an article on that.
Cracks Arid Mesa. See what play Daniel Dusang makes here. And
there's your Lightning Bolt Plains from
yeah, the
Odyssey.
Lightning Bolt Plains sitting right there at the top of Daniel Dusang's deck. I used to play with that one a lot when I played with old card face cards, but now I like them all to have a new card frame. Or I like my lands, all the new card frame. Most of my lands are new card frame.
Yeah, you want me to be modern legal? Yeah. All right, so Daniel Dusang decides on a Plains, wants to play around up any potential wastelands from John Donovan. Always a threat with Knight of the Reliquary on the board.
If you're in the room, please come up to the stage at your convenience.
There is...
Interesting choice, because he does have that Ancient Grudge in his hand.
Yeah, he doesn't get a red source. Maybe he's worried about getting wastelanded here.
Right, and he has the Sylvan Library to help draw him into more lands as well.
Yeah, and he does a Forgotten Cave in his hand, too, for a slower red source.
Yep.
But if Seismic Assault... So he plays his own Knight of the Reliquary, the Knights vs. Dragons version.
Yep.
But if Seismic Assault is an issue, or is a key card for him,
Yeah, not so sure about that. Maybe Seismic Assault not going to factor into his game plan this game. He has neither part. He has neither Life from the Loam nor the Assault.
Sure. And there
Eternal Witness.
is Eternal Witness.
Wow.
Okay. Getting back Wasteland on Daniel's Wasteland, hamstringing his mana even further.
And I expect this to be a third Wasteland.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Could not grab that Wasteland out of his deck fast enough. John Donovan activates another Reliquary, finds a Wasteland, Wastelanding away Daniel Dusang's Dryad Arbor, leaving Daniel with but a Plains on the battlefield.
Not the situation Daniel wants, and that Knight of the Reliquary, both of those Knights of the Reliquary are going to be very big. Not sure which one's bigger right now.
Yeah, but if John just has a Swords or something, that'll really knock Daniel out of the game, I think. That Knight might be his last line of defense.
Definitely will be. Special lands for John Donovan. He has a Maze of It to search up if he sided it in. He has a Caracas, but really that's about it. Nothing that's going to get him out of this predicament. Though the Maze of It is very good against fighting Exalted.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he does have Maze of Ith. Yeah, not a lot of options for Daniel Dusang. All right, so he's going to Sylvan Library in his upkeep. Hopefully find something.
And I do see an Arid Mesa there, so he has any source of mana there if he needs it.
Puts him back. And plucks a new card off the top.
Does decide on the Arid Mesa, really desperately needs more mana. Has another Knight in his hand. If he can resolve that, he won't be in bad shape. He'll be able to have 2 big creatures against John Donovan's 1. But getting to 3 mana might prove to be an issue for him.
Yeah, I mean...
John Donovan, I believe, still has 1 Wasteland left in his deck. I think we've only seen him use 3.
He should still have a 4th, yeah. And that means that Knight can search it up. But Daniel Dusang finds a Taiga with his fetch land, meaning that he can just get wasted next turn. Although if he leaves the Knight untapped, the Wasteland will not work so well.
Nope.
Letting
Daniel Dusang just fetch up another land or a Maze of It for free.
Come up to the main stage. Jeffrey Blyden and Chris Esquera.
Vinny Camargo on Twitter asks what's the card between Hierarch and Kozali Pride Mage. That's Eternal Witness, the FM Eternal Witness. So it's the board right now is Hierarch, Witness, Kozali Pride Mage, Knight of the Reliquary, and Savannah versus Sylvan Library, Knight of the Reliquary, Taiga, and Plains. John Donovan, the white-green player, Daniel Dusang, the aggro loam player. play with the Taiga.
And Daniel Dusang's hand right now is a Knight of the Reliquary, a Forgotten Cave, an Ancient Grudge, and I'm not sure what the last card is there. We're about to see it, though.
Looks like he's going to play it.
That must be a Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah, so that lets you get cards from graveyards, and if it's a creature, you can get a +1/+1 counter on it.
Yep.
So it's a single green to exile a card, and if it's a creature, you get a +1/+1 counter. And you gain a life.
And you gain a life, yeah. For only 1 green.
Yep, single green.
I've seen that card popping up more and more in Legacy, and it seems pretty good, especially in the creature attrition matches.
Creature attrition or against graveyard-based strategies, too. I mean, against strategies, just get rid of all their Stinkweed Imp, stuff like that.
Right.
Certainly not unreasonable. Looks like Mother of Rune's coming out to play. John Donovan's deck is gorgeous. Look at all these foils and black bordered dual lands.
Clearly a player who has really collected these.
Likes his green-white deck.
Yep. And searching with Windswept Heath right now. Another black-bordered Savannah. And we'll see what he does with it. Might decide it's time for that Sylvan Library to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of that's exactly what it does. I think that Sylvan Library is one of the few ways Daniel Dusang could climb back into this game.
Right.
And getting rid of it certainly helps John Donovan toward winning.
Yeah, the card selection, it was allowing Daniel Dusang to draw a land whenever he needed it, or a spell whenever he needed it, was huge.
John does not search up his 4th Wasteland to kill off that Taiga, which is a little surprising to me. I thought that's what he was going to do.
Well, with that Knight of the Reliquary on the board, that's tough. But it's still untapped, though, so if Daniel taps that Knight of the Reliquary, he'll be able to do that at instant speed.
Right. I mean, yeah, you don't want to run it right into that Taiga, like I mentioned earlier, but I imagine he would have at least used the Knight for something, or at least just gotten the Wasteland. I guess he can just do that end step.
Right.
But you definitely want to just have that Wasteland sitting there, I think.
Yeah, he has a few options with that Knight of the Reliquary. Gaia's Cradle, actually, will provide 4 mana if he wants it to.
Good way to give him a mana boost.
Yep.
Cycle's Forgotten Cave. Drawing a card. There's Green Sun Zenith. Can get Dryad Arbor. There's 1 Dryad Arbor in the graveyard. Played it on the first turn.
And no more land for Daniel Dusang.
And time is slowly dwindling in the round. About 7 minutes left for these two players. They have a 2-minute extension, and there's 5 minutes left in the round. So this match may not see a conclusion if the game doesn't break stalemate quickly, although I imagine that it will. John is so far ahead right now, he just needs to find an answer.
Right.
Is that a Mirror Crusader he just drew? I think it is. If so, that'll break right through those green creatures.
That'll end the game very quickly.
It's got a mirror and symbol. It's got to be Mirror Crusader.
I think so.
I don't think there's anything else in that slot.
John Donovan, interestingly enough, might have sided out a Stoneforge Mystic package. We haven't seen any of those pieces. Maybe knowing that that Daniel is going to bring in Ancient Grudges, or at least suspecting.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it seems like you want to keep that in a creature match, Batterskull being the insane card that it is, but maybe John did take them out.
Next level. Sorry, Streets Ahead. Streets Ahead.
Yeah, you don't want to be streets behind. All right, here is Mirror Crusader.
And John Donovan's army slowly growing, while Daniel hasn't contributed a permanent to the board in a few turns.
And John serves in with Knight.
No, I think he's searching up a land here.
Searching with Knight.
See what he gets. Wasteland.
All right, so Wasteland's the tap Taiga, and Dan doesn't even search with his Knight.
He probably feels he can't afford to because he has to block with that Knight, which I'm not sure I like that play. I think he had to keep that land around.
Yeah, I don't know how Dan is winning this game now without that Taiga.
Going to need a 1 white mana Wrath of God here.
He's Blasphemous Act or something.
That'd be perfect.
There's Wood Foothills. Come on, Blasphemous Act. Sadly for Daniel Dusang, there's no Blasphemous Act in his 75.
That would be some foresight if there was.
Still gripping. Yeah, we've seen so many cards that could be blowouts today. Hysterical Blindness,
Ooh,
another one.
Yep.
People should just be playing with these cards, right? Clearly.
If you missed the Hysterical Blindness match, that was the finals.
Of Standard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not recommend playing Hysterical Blindness, despite it being good in one specific situation.
Lewis Mackey asks, is there an Edric in the Maverick list? No, there is not. No Edric.
What is that?
It's a card from the Commander deck. Let me look up the exact wording for you.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that the green-blue guy that draws you cards?
Yeah, there's actually no blue mana
Yeah.
in this green-white deck here.
Yeah, so Edric, for those wondering at home, is a 1G U 2/2, and whenever it makes all the creatures Ophidians, basically.
Right. Elf Rogue, legendary creature.
But no, it's not in either player's deck. No blue for either player. I mean, there is Knight of the Reliquary and Noble Hierarch, so you could get blue somehow, but neither player is opting to run it.
So it looks like Daniel Dusang fetches up a forest here. And I have to imagine he's going to cast the Tarmogoyf in his hand. It's one of the only plays available to him.
So Forest Plains down for Daniel Dusang. Trying to find something to do here. Taps 2, activates Knight,
Interesting.
searches.
Might seem to play that second Knight in his hand.
Sure, get another big blocker out there. Going to get a mana floating, gets Wood Foothills, cracks it, going to get something else. Maybe he's just going to bank on both of his Knights. I don't like that plan. I think that John Donovan is going to find ways to swords away those Knights, and then he's just going to have the commanding board.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, either way, not in a good position because that Mother of Runes is just going to give protection to a Knight and crash in. Protection from green is going to pull it away in 1 or 2 swings.
I mean, maybe Dan Dusang has a lightning bolt or something. I don't think so. Yep, there's just a second Knight, but John Donovan will be able to give his own Knight protection and swing right past those. Mother Rune's so powerful.
Yep.
Single white for a 1/1, tap dark creature against protection from the color of your choice until end of turn.
Amazing card. Urza's Legacy. It's an oldie but a goodie.
Powerful set, we'll say.
Yeah.
Mother Rune's, well, not exactly the highest power card to come out of that set, but
That honor might go to Deranged Hermit, the Squirrel Lord.
I don't think it goes to Range Hermit either.
Someone actually mentioned on Twitter that Tinker, also from that set, might be top 5 blue cards as well.
Yeah, I think we missed it when we were talking about it earlier. So a bunch of players mentioned Mana Drain, but I'm not convinced Mana Drain is top 5 blue cards of all time.
No, I don't think so. I think Force of Will would take that honor from it. Oh, and attacks with only Mirren Crusader, giving it 2 Exalted triggers.
Alright, so that Mirror Crusader is 8 power versus Daniel's 5 life.
So 1 more swing should do it.
Yeah. And he's going to see it for another Night of the Reliquary.
Wow, Daniel Dusang.
Yeah, there's ever time for a Blasphemous Head.
Right.
Well, I guess it doesn't even matter. That Mother of Runes shuts that off too. So yeah, Daniel Dusang more or less dead here.
Yeah, drawing dead.
Legacy open player is that is time.
I can't think of a card.
round
I can't think of a card to draw, and that's time call. But the players have 2 more minutes.
5 additional turns.
Right, and Daniel Dusang will maybe play it out another turn, but nothing in his hand can save him at this point.
Cracks his Wood Foothills. Gets Taiga. And I mean, maybe he's going to play something, but I just don't know what it could possibly be. This game is pretty much over as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
Maybe John Donovan will forget to attack with his Mirren Crusader. We'll
Draw
see.
2 cards.
Right.
I mean, you should always play out to the end. Your opponent could always, do something, make a mistake.
Flip the table over. Yeah.
Could get a phone call that he has to leave or something, right? I mean, you never know.
Yeah, you can't play 1 more turn. Yeah, it's never concede when it's game 3.
It's only game 2, but yeah.
Sure. Yeah. When you're about to lose the match.
Yeah, when you're about to lose the match, yeah. And
Another Wasteland. Was that 5 Wastelands?
that's exactly what I'm talking about. No, I'm pretty sure it's only 4 Wastelands.
Okay.
But yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. What if he just goes with the 5th Wasteland
Right.
there, and you're like, oh, well, that was easy.
Thanks, buddy. So John Donovan with his all-foil deck is going to take this one down. Beautiful deck. Oh no, I guess we did forget about Maze of Ith. Guess he can go tutor up a Maze of Ith, but that's going to leave him with 1 source of mana, red mana, so John Donovan will win this one eventually. Just might take 1 more turn here.
Oh, dear.
He'll have to attack with that Knight of the Reliquary 2 and give it protection from red.
Yeah, should have attacked with the Knight that turn. Give it a pro-green.
Definitely. Now he might get Blasphemous acted.
I think he's safe from Blasphemous Act. Zenith again.
Okay. So we'll see what he finds here.
Going to find... Is that a Scavenging Ooze? I think that is. I think that's his own Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yep, that is his own Scavenging Ooze. And so the board is Ooze, Noble Hierarch, Mirren Crusader, Knight of the Reliquary, Knight of the Reliquary, Mother of Runes, and Eternal Witness versus Tarmogoyf, 2 Knights of the Reliquary, and a Scavenging Ooze.
And now John Donovan just using his Knights of the Reliquary to fetch up Gaia's Cradle, just making sure there's no way he can lose this game.
Taking a lot of actions at this point, but only any of them are going to matter.
Yep, all fairly irrelevant now.
And even if the game goes to time, John Donovan wins because he's ahead. So
right. So maybe we'll see the 5th Wasteland here. John Donovan. Looks like he's about to ship the turn back to Daniel.
And tries Ancient Grudge. Is that a Swords he just drew?
Not sure.
I think that's the Swords.
Probably his only white card in the deck. His only mono white card, I think. And time was just called.
Alright, so 5 turns from here.
So if Daniel Dusang can possibly win in 3 turns, he'll force this match to a draw.
I don't think he can.
Nope.
We'll see.
Probably not.
Let's find out. His hand is Ancient Grudge, which has been there since the start of the game. Swords to Plowshares, and one more card I can't quite make out.
And John Donovan looks through his graveyard. It's like Daniel Dusang might be doing the same.
I think John just has Daniel dead, but I wonder if he's just opting not to kill him because he knows that he'll take the safe route.
Maybe.
I mean, I guess would you just want to kill him right away in case something weird like a Blasphemous Act were to happen?
Yeah, I think he was just keeping all his creatures untapped just in case. But now that the Maze Vith is in play, there's no reason not to go for the kill here. And he has 1 mountain. There's not much he can do with that.
Daniel Dusang taking his time. Gonna add John Donovan, adding a bunch of mana to his mana pool, exiling a bunch of cards with Scavenging Ooze.
Oh, getting a lot of life, putting a lot of counters on it. Again, more actions, but nothing too groundbreaking here.
Players. StarCGames.com dealer booth would like to remind you that if you are looking to sell us cards, now would be an awesome time to do so. We are wrapping up the cash buy portion.
Looks like John is just exiling a bunch of cards with Scavenging Ooze.
But if you'd like to sell us any cards,
Yep, looking for the creatures.
And that wins the Night War, shrinks Daniel's Knights down to small portions.
Good point. Very good point. Knight's probably very close to 2/2s at this point.
And untaps and draws. John Donovan should be able to just attack and win. Taps a bunch of mana. Gaia's Cradles it up. 1, 2, 3. Draws, shows Sword of Feast and Famine. And that's that.
John Donovan laughing, knew it took much longer than it needed to, but he got there.
Yep. John Donovan got there. And congratulations to him for taking down this match over Daniel Dusang. I believe he's 5-0 now.